So, today is July 31st, 2025, and this is today's trade breakdown. So, during my overlap session that I usually trade during that time frame that I trade from, I didn't see no trade setups with the usual pairs that I trade, which is gold and NASDAQ. So, from there, I went to the third pair that I normally don't trade this pair, but most of the time when I do not see a setup, on my regular pairs, which is gold and Nasdaq, I'd go to this forex pair, which is JBP USD, and usually I trade on the 5 minute. But most of the time as well, I go to the 15 minute just to see if there's any nice clean setups on the 15 minute, right? Because most of the time the 15 minute it holds price action more stronger and is more likely to play out than the 5 minute. So here, basically, I was on the 5 minute, and I clearly saw price was on a downtrend. We have the three MAs above, lined up in order, right? I saw there was a supply setup right here, right? Boom. And then on the 15 minute, I saw that there was another supply setup right here, right? Because right here we have price going down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We see a clear downtrend. So right here, what I'm expecting is for price to come back up to either the 5 minute zone, reject off of it, and continue the downtrend, or break the zone, hit the 15 minute zone, which is more stronger, and from there continue the downtrend, or break it and then just reverse and start an uptrend or consolidate, right? So I was on the 5 minute just waiting, and this is what happened basically, right? Price began coming up to the zone, hit the 5 minute zone, and then broke it. So right off the back, this zone became invalid. So the 5 minute zone wasn't strong enough. So it became invalid because price broke it. Then I went to the 15 minute, and I was just waiting to see what price would do. Eventually, price came up and hit the 15 minute zone. Right? It hit the 15 minute zone. It almost broke it, but it began to reject. And if you go on the 5 minute, which that's where I was finding my entry at, right? I was just using the 15 minute zone, but my entry is always going to be on the lower time frame on the 5 minute. Right here with this candle, price have came up, almost broke the zone, creating a new high, but it didn't. And then it rejected and closed bearish. So from here, I was already looking for sales off this supply zone. And I had my stop loss above the zone. And obviously, my goal was 2 times my risk. So usually, since I don't trade this pair, I decided to risk less than I normally would. So normally I would go for maybe, let's say, risk of $400 to make double, but on this one I decided to risk 200. Since it's a pair I don't normally trade, and this pair moves way more slower than gold and Nasdaq, and it's just not my type of pair. So, but since I didn't see no other setups, no other clean supply demand setups on the other pairs that I usually trade, I switched to this one, and it turns out price action was looking very clean, very neat, and had a potential opportunity for my strategy to play out and make some money for the day. So basically, right here, I saw this candle. It rejected. It didn't break the zone. It began to reject, and I was just waiting for the next break of candle to break this candle low in order for me to get in the trade. And right here, boom, this candle came up, almost broke it, but it didn't. So I was still waiting. Then this next candle came, and then I moved my my entry more up because now I was waiting for this candle low to get broken, right? And from here, the next candle came. This was like around 11 a.m. The next candle came and broke that low. By when this candle came in, I was already in the trade. I was already in the trade, and I saw the candle started coming down, went into profit, then it began to reject, and I was like, damn. Now I'm skeptical about it, but we're already in the trade now. We have no control. I have my stop loss set, my exit limit set, and my take profit set, my exit limit set right here. And from now, it's just waiting to see what price is gonna do, right? And from here, price started pushing up, rejecting, coming back down. It came down, almost hit take profit one, which take profit one was like around here. TP one was like maybe around here or so. Let me see. Yeah, take profit one was like right here. Boom. Boom. Right? And I don't really trade this pair because it's like I said, it moves slow and it just be taking so damn long to either start trending again or to give you that big push that you're looking for in order for price to hit your either your stop loss or your take profit. That's why I really like Nasdaq and gold because you get your take profits hit that quick, and that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm used to, so that's why I trade that way and I trade those pairs. And this one I don't really trade it much because it just moves way slower. So right here, price started pushing back after it created this low. Right, price came back up and started pushing back down. Broke this last recent low that I made right here on the 5 minute. Almost hit my 1-to-1 and started pushing back up. So right here, I was just like, okay. I was like, price playing around too much. I might just close out the trade. I have moved my stop loss to this high, this candle high right here, or this wick. So like that, I know like, okay, if price passes this wick, break this candle high, then it's most likely gonna break the zone, and therefore the trade will become invalid. So before price even comes up here and takes me out at my full risk, I'm gonna close out my loss early. So like that, I don't take the full risk. All right, so that's my thought process when this was happening. And then price began rejecting again and started coming back down. Boom. So right here, I basically noticed, okay, price created a double top, especially if I go to the 15 minute. Right here, you can clearly see price went up, came down, went up, rejected, and came down. On the 15 minute, I was really liking it and I kept holding the trade. One, because the 3 MAs are lined up, right? Price basically came up to the 50 MA, rejected off of it. It didn't break the zone, right? Price action is still looking good, meaning that it didn't break the high. So we have a lower high and we have a double top. Price came up, rejected, came down. Price came up, rejected from that same level and came down. And we also have wicks rejecting from the upside, saying that price doesn't want to go up, right? Price is being pushed down, is rejecting, right? So I kept holding the trade right here. And then price eventually started calming down. This trade took kind of long though, honestly. Price came down. Boom. Hit my 1-to-1 right here. This was like around 1 p.m. So as soon as price hit my 1-to-1, I moved my stop loss a little bit lower, like around here. I think it was like around these wicks, right? So now I'm risking half of the small risk I had. So if I was risking $200 here, now I'm risking $100 on this one trade, and I'm already up my 1-to-1 on this trade, right? I'm already up my 1-to-1 right here on this trade. So from here, I just kept holding and holding the trade, and price eventually, came all the way down and hit my 2 to 1, and I got out the trade. I got out the trade right here, calling it a day. I was also at work, so I wasn't even like, I didn't really want to stay holding all the way to 3 to 1. But even though 3 to 1 had the potential to get hit, or it could have got hit, that wasn't that's not my original trading plan. My trading plan is to get out at 2 to 1, at 2 times my risk. So once I had a choice to make right here. Once price hit my 2 to 1, I had a choice to either get out or stay holding the trade. I decided to, you know what? I'm gonna just follow my trading plan and get out the trade, because as there's been many times, like I said in the previous video, there's been times where I hold and I try to be greedy, and that did not play out. So I learned from my lesson to not do that again. Um, and basically, this is what ended up happening. I got out, and then the next candle, literally, like price started pushing back up, which is crazy. And that was basically my day for this trade. This is the last day of the month. Also, tomorrow we go to the first. Tomorrow's NFP week, and well, NFP day. Today's NFP week because tomorrow's the first day of the month, and that was basically today's trade setup. So this is also why I do 2 to 1s, because for the strategy that I use, which is supply and demand, most of the time price will just go to 2 to 1 risk to reward, and then just reverse. There'll be like once in a blue where price would just keep shooting down, and you give you like 4 to 1, like it did on the last video that I did. But sometimes, majority of the time, price would just go to the 2 to 1, reverse, and either switch the trend or just reverse, pull back to like break even. Let's say if I have my stop loss at break even, I would have probably got stopped out, and then price would then continue the trend. But you know, that's why you gotta follow your trading rules and your trading plan. Get out at your original risk to reward, your original target price, and you'll be good. And yeah, this was today's trade breakdown. Basically, I was kind of at work, so I wasn't really paying too much attention to this trade, which was good because it took dumb long, especially with this pair. This pair, it be moving too slow, and yeah. And here I made $500, which is cool. On Tuesday we had a loss after the $800 win. On Monday we had a loss. On Tuesday we lost half of the win that we made on Monday. On Wednesday we didn't take no trade because there was no clean setup due to the strategy. And then today we found this nice clean setup on this third pair that I normally don't trade, but it was the move for the day. And in total, we ended the week with $961, which is pretty cool. So that was today's trade breakdown. And yeah, try to keep it quick and sweet. This video was probably a little bit longer than I would like to be. I would have liked it to be because I was kind of talking a lot. But I try to make it quick. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what else you would like to see. But I'm gonna keep dropping these videos, breakdowns, just to document what I'm doing, and just so when in the future I could just look back and see how I was trading and how I progressed, and just how everything has unfolded. But yeah, till next time.